Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Weren't we told, or haven't we been told continuously, that Russia is isolated, but United States is not? Well, one thing is what people say, and the other thing is what actually happens by, actions, not words. So in the Middle East, in whatever happens in Israel, what country or what leader, let's put it by leaders, because leaders, guys in charge, supposedly represent their nations. So you tell me, let's get Putin and let's Russia, right? And let's get Biden, United States of America, our guy, the big guy. He's isolated or Putin is isolated? Well, let's see. Putin spoke with everybody in the Middle East. Had no problem. He met Abbas. He met the Arab, how do you call it? Arab, not Legion. Arab Legion. I can't remember exactly. But the Egyptian, the guy in, I can't remember his name right now. I think Arab League. I'm sorry, not the Arab League. He met the guy in charge, an Egyptian guy in Moscow. Abbas saw him. He spoke with, what's his name? The Syrian president, right? He spoke with Iran, obviously. He spoke with Mohammed bin Salman. He spoke with Netanyahu. So who's isolated? Obviously he's not. None of these people refused to speak to him. The king of Jordan or whatever he's over there, I can't remember exactly, and so on. I have a king of Jordan. I don't think he's king of Jordan, isn't it? The leader, I can't remember. I think it was. But anyway. He spoke with, my point is, he spoke with each and every leader in the Middle East. Aside from Hamas, if I remember correctly. Now, who did Biden speak with? Who? The same? No, not the same. So who's isolated? And we find out that, right here, Palestinian leader rejected Biden's phone call. The media says Mahmoud Abbas reportedly turned down a U.S. request to talk following the bombing of a hospital in Gaza. Per Russia Today, Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas refused to hold a phone call with U.S. President Joe Biden during the latter's visit to Israel on Wednesday, Israeli state media reported on Friday. You know why? Well, if you don't know why, I would like to suggest that the fact that the idiot Biden saying that it was not the Israeli who bombed the hospital, so they're not guilty. They are, innocent. Do you think that Abbas would pick up the phone for that guy? All right. Citing a Palestinian source in the West Bank in Khan news agency, the Khan news agency said that Biden's team had attempted to arrange a conversation between the leaders but Abbas rejected the request. Biden and Abbas did speak by phone on Saturday, with the U.S. president pledged to support efforts to bring urgently needed humanitarian assistance to Palestinian people. How? By vetoing United Nations resolutions? Yeah. You don't want anybody else to get involved. You want to be only you in charge. That's what's going on. The United States wants to keep the lead closed over there, covered, everything. Only United States, when Israel allows them, will allow someone to come in. Not United Nations, which is actually the body that should be involved in this, not United States of America, not Russia, not China, but United Nations. That's why it was created, wasn't it? To deal with this kind of crisis. Well, United States stops that United Nations over there, but then they say, we're going to bring you. I'm going to give you $104 million, not billion, $1 million in aid. Why? Because they want to say, we are in charge here. We are the ones, who filter everything here. Everybody else back the fuck up. Why? And then they say, well, it's your fault. It's your fault. It's you guys' fault for whatever happened in Israel. You're not responsible whatsoever. But you are in charge here. How in the hell you tell me that you are not in charge when you keep everybody out? You're able to do it. And you tell me, not my responsibility. No, this is your creation. This is your conclusion. This is your reaction. This is your consequence. You had 30 years at least, not mentioning from 1948. 30 years from 1991 to do what the fuck ever you want in the Middle East. This is your job. Now, back the fuck up and let the adults come in. How about that? No. You know what? Because this child, an adult body, has the biggest bazooka in town. So nobody dares to cross him. And he's drunk and listening to the orders of a little fucking midget. Little person. Anyway, my friends. So here it is. This guy doesn't want to answer the phone. Why would he? Would you? Let him wait a little bit. Let him wait. Why? Because he was an asshole. He was an asshole. Remember, every time when someone is arguing or fighting, domestic violence or whatever, when you intervene at the scene, the first thing you make sure that they're safe. Stop the fighting. That's the first thing you do. I know that. You go in the first one. You push aside the warring parties, okay, and then you interview what happened. Go to the other one, or you send your partners over there, and the partner will interview, hey, what happened, blah, blah, blah. And then you interview whomever was a witness, who was over there, and you're going to ask them, and after that you make a determination. The determination is cause no harm. That means the fighting is not occurring. United States stays to the side and waits right now for these guys to kick those guys. But those guys are not the Hamas, are the Palestinians. That's the problem. So this guy is punching back not only the aggressor, Hamas, 7th of October, remember, but everybody else, including the children and the police officer, the self-assigned or ascribed police officer of the world, Al Capone, cool as a cucumber, is like, oh, everybody, don't intervene until this guy is gonna fuck these guys up. And then when they're gonna have enough, they can't breathe after they destroy these guys, then they say, you know what, now you bring money here, not that much, you cannot come here, you cannot, but you're not in control. You've been in control at least for the 31 years since the Soviet Union collapsed. You were in control. What did you do? You bombarded an independent sovereign country without the United Nations Security Council's authorization. That makes it illegal, Yugoslavia. Then you invaded countries and destroyed countries on lies. Then you attacked Libya, again with no authorization, just NATO, the defensive organization, attacked Libya. They didn't? All right, okay. And then the Libyan people killed Gaddafi. Let me play you some Paganini right now. All right, my friends, so what would you do? I mean, these guys here, they try to keep the lead as much as possible, but we know, people know, it's too late. People know, and they wonder, hey, how come there's an alternative view on the events? Because there is one, you just created a scenario. You just picked a few things and you said, this is the scenario right here. This is what happened. But you ignored 90% of what happened. You just used the 10% that you picked and choose from history, put it together and say, see, Hamas attacked, killed 1,400 Jews and so on. Yeah, that's awful. That's wrong. But hey, why would they do that? Hey, don't ask that question. That's anti-Semitic. Well, with this kind of conversation, as I said, children in adults' body with power. That's the problem. They have power. They can destroy us if they want. They can shut us up if they want. Legally or illegally. They can just say national security, bang, and they pick you up and take you and then give you some water to drink even if you're not thirsty, and then whatever, nobody's going to hear from you again. Why? Because you were a national threat. And that's it. They decided you're a national threat. Your family will not know where you're at. Nobody's going to give any answers, and you're gone. What do you think? Oh, this is America? Really? I remember when it was on YouTube, that little documentary when that guy was working at a gym and after September 11, and he said something about, but I don't know, I don't buy this thing. And FBI came to interview him in 2 days. In 24 hours or in 48 hours, FBI was at the gym discussing with that guy. National security? Why? Because you have a different interpretation of what you're fed? Exactly. So don't give me that. I mean, if you want, just read, how do you call it, Alexander Solzhenitsyn, Gulag Archipelago. Just go and read that one. That Jordan Peterson is so happy to mention it to us. But when you say, hey, Jordan Peterson, remember Solzhenitsyn? What group did he blame all these things on? So Jordan Peterson is like, whoo, backpedaling. I saw him on, I think it was a New York stage, when someone asked from the audience something about that, and he was like, understandably. He just interviewed Netanyahu, Jordan Peterson. Awful interview. I like Jordan Peterson, but on the religion side and how do you call it, symbolistic side, everything goes to the Bible. No, not everything goes to the Bible. My cock doesn't go to the Bible. So he tries to interpret the reality based on the Bible. Not everything you can interpret in the Bible. You can make it. I don't know if you remember that movie, My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Remember something like that? When it was Constantine, I think it was the old Greek guy. He said everything comes from Greece. And everything comes from portocallis, from oranges, everything for that guy. And I met this kind of people, and it was very funny. My friends, some of them, everything comes from Greek. And he would turn everything like this is a mouse. Now he would say, oh, the Greeks made it. And they will make a certain kind of connection to tell you that the mouse actually comes from, Minotaurus. And Minotaurus is the mouse. Mouse, Minotaurus, that's what it is. So the same here. Jordan Peterson tries to fit everything in the Old and the New Testament, which is, I think, not right, not intellectual. I think it's something else. You can't, and it's undefendable. That little book is undefendable, my friends. It can't answer all the answers. Well, if it answers for you, excellent. So here is, my friends. I don't even know. I talked about Abbas, and I ended up with Jordan Peterson and with these guys. Yeah, just be who you are, my friends. Don't be afraid. But remember, there are consequences coming from these guys. It's just if they want to make a decision, they will have no problem. Why? Because there are some people who just follow orders. Okay? I know how that is firsthand. When you're just given something and you cannot discuss it. You have to do it. If you don't do it, then you get in trouble. All right? So you're going to do it. That's your job, the enforcer. Like a gun. You have a gun, you put it on the table, and that's it. And when someone picks the gun to use it, the gun cannot say, I'm not going to fire now for you. You can't. You have to. That's your job. That's what you're going to do. That you signed up for. You're not going to say, well, I received this order. Let me see. Are you sure Donald Trump has to be You're not going to say that. Hey, you have to eliminate that target. He's going to do it. He's not going to ask why. Is it ethical? Why? How did you reach that? How do you know? No, he's just a machine. You want to meet a machine? Get stopped by a by a police officer and see how he's going to argue with you about what he saw. He's a machine at a very low level. These guys are deeper than that. You have to go around the corner and around the block a few times to realize that what I'm saying is just common sense and common behavior in certain departments. That's their job. When I say KGB does that, what do you think CIA does? Oh no, CIA doesn't do that. Only KGB. They're in the same business. You have a pilot and you have another pilot. Do you think they follow the laws? Do you have to follow the speed limits? They're pilots. They're supposed to win the competition. They're going to step on that freaking pedal, on the brake and acceleration, how much they can. If they want to destroy you, they will destroy you. That's part of the rules. Or no rules. Do you think they have rules? Convention, in the war? God damn it, come on, man. This is just movies. Movies with people. There are some of them, but we don't hear about them. Why? Because that's wrong if we hear about them. You're not supposed to have heroes unless the heroes are their hero. Not your heroes, their heroes. And they want to push their heroes as being your hero. Look what kind of stories they bring now with from Israel. But still, you have to... too much anyway. You can talk hours, my friends. Maybe when they're going to get me and they're going to give me some water, I'm going to talk a lot. Why? Because they're going to get extracted from you anyway. So they don't have to give me water. I'm going to say, hey, what do you want me to say? I'm going to tell you everything you want to know. And whatever you want me to say, I will say it because you're going to make me say it. You're going to make me. So if you want me to say that this is black, I'd rather say it from the very beginning, because if I say no, they will make me say it. And I don't even know that I said it. But on the camera, on the tape, I'll be shown, yes, this is black. My friends, these guys are, you gotta know. You gotta know. I can't give you. I just give you here and there. And if you don't believe me, I don't care. I know that, as someone said, history will absolve me. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Not that I'm that important, but anyway, you have to play with. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.